Hi, this is Dinesh from DURGASOFT Software Solutions, and we are in the today's session we are going to discuss about PL SQL stored procedures. What is a stored procedure? Simply we can say a named PL SQL program. Named PL SQL program is called as stored procedure. What is the advantage? According to database, we can call it as it is a database object. One of the database object. A procedure contains two parts. Why it is considering as a database object? If you write any program, and you are storing that program inside the database, that program is becoming as stored procedure. If anything stored inside the database permanently is known as a database object. Similarly, stored procedure is also one of the database object. Now, the stored procedure is having two parts. It is having two parts. What are they? First one is procedure specification, simply we can call procedure spec, and second part is procedure body. What is procedure specification? How it look like? See, create or replace. You are creating procedure here, and specify the name of the procedure. Optionally, it maintains arguments, argument variable 1 and its data type, and argument variable 2 and its data type, and so on. This is called as procedure spec. This part is known as procedure spec. Procedure specification, and from here onwards same as program. Declare statements, go for begin block, here assignment statements, data processing statements, output statements. Next, exception block. Here error handling statements, and finally end. At the end of the procedure, specify end and specify the procedure name. That's it. This part is called as procedure body. This is known as procedure body. Simply I can say the procedure body is called as procedure functionality, in which way the procedure is executing. And here this specification represents the following is the body of the procedure. That body of the procedure has to be stored with a name under the database. While executing the procedure, it is going to take the values for these arguments. And see, procedure types. How many types of procedures are there? Two types of procedures. What is that? First one is called as static procedures, and second one is known as dynamic procedures. A static procedure should not take any runtime values while the execution of the procedure, whereas the dynamic procedure has to take some values. Means a procedure without having argument list is known as a static procedure. A procedure with having arguments is known as dynamic procedure. Static procedure always generates the same output. Dynamic procedure generates different outputs for different input values. This is about procedures. Okay. So whenever you are writing all this functionality at the end of the procedure in SQL plus environment, you should use slash. Slash will compile the procedure, and if there are no compilation errors, then the procedure is going to be created. It will display a message, procedure created. You have successfully created the procedure inside the database, but you are not getting any output. Why? Because the procedure is not executed till now. How can I execute the procedure? Procedures always explicitly executed. How do I execute a procedure? Say here the example, by using execute command we can execute the procedure. Execute, specify procedure name, and if the procedure is having argument list, for that arguments we have to pass values. If there are n arguments, means you need to pass n values. Okay, so these are called as actual parameters. These are known as actual parameters. And these are known as formal parameters. Formal parameters. Okay, in this way you have to execute the procedure. See, what are the advantages by using procedures? Procedures are compiled once. We have to call it as a one-time compilation objects. Procedures and functions, packages and triggers. Only one time they will be compiled, but any number of times you can execute these objects. The advantages are enhanceability, reusability, adaptability, and modularity. If you have a complex task is there, you can divide the task into subtasks. For each subtask, you have to write a procedure. The procedure is accomplishing your task and it is displaying some output to you, or it is performing some task. It is doing some process inside the database. That is called as stored procedure. Got it? Okay. So now have a look onto the screen. How can I create a procedure? If I can create it, how can I store it inside the database? And how to execute the procedure inside the database or against the tables? Yeah, we will have a look for both static and dynamic. Hi. So in this video session, we are going to discuss about stored procedures. How can I create a stored procedure? What are the types of stored procedures? Okay, here we are having two types of stored procedures. One is static and one is dynamic. Right now I am going to write a stored procedure which is a static type stored procedure. Always it generates the same output and it is not having any argument variable list. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to create a stored procedure, we have to use create command. Create procedure, the procedure name we need to specify. The procedure name, I am going to write the procedure for this purpose. Display employee name. Employee name for employee ID 7788. Procedure, it is going to display ename. Ename of 7788 is, yeah. Next one is, you are taking employee name and you are storing 7788 in. So two variables we have to declare. VEID, it's an int. Next VE name, this is something like varchar2 of 20. Begin. And now I am selecting, yeah, first assign a value for VEID. VEID equal to 7788. Now select the employee name and save it into VE name from EMP table, where employee number is equal to VEID. Okay, you have selected the employee name and that name is saved under VE name. Now I am going to display the value or employee name of 7788. dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. See here, name of, okay, VEID concatenation operator is, okay, concatenation operator VE ename. You have saved under v ename variable. Okay, finish. And end of the procedure name is procedure ename of 7788. Semicolon. This is the closing of the procedure. See, first two lines. This is called as procedure specification, and from here you are having declaration statements up to end of the procedure. This part is called as procedure body. So while creating procedures, we have to create the specification part and body part together. So let me create it. Exit and use slash. Yeah, procedure created. You have successfully created the procedure, but you didn't execute it. How do I execute the procedure? See here, execute statement or exec shortcut command we can use. Procedure something like ename 7788. It is not taking any arguments, so don't pass any values. Simply you have to run it. Okay, and now let me type it. PL SQL procedure successfully completed, but it is not generating any output to you. So set server output on. Set server output on and re-execute the procedure. Execute procedure and ename and 7788. See here, name of 7788 is Scott. So always you can execute it any number of times. Always it will generate same output because it is the static type procedure. Ename 7788. Name of 7788 is Scott only. Got it? Okay, this is called as static procedure. How can I make or how can I write a dynamic procedure? Why? Because client to client the requirement may be changed. In that case, I need the name of a 7654. Some other person requests about the name of some other employee. Some other guy is requesting about some other employee information. In that case, how can I submit different input values for the same procedure? Let me create. In which case we have to use replace, create or replace. Suppose you have created some procedures. That procedure already existed in the database. You are now going to create a new procedure with the same name, unfortunately. So if you don't need the old procedure, if you want to replace the old procedure coding with the new procedure coding, then it is better to specify or replace. Or replace didn't generate any error message if you are trying to create a new procedure with same name. What is happening internally is the new procedure coding or the functionality of new procedure replaced the old procedure functionality. Okay, now procedure ename for given ID. Let us see, for given ID. Okay, so you are creating a new procedure and it is taking one employee number VENVO. So what is the type is int type is. Okay, so just eliminate this line, it is not required, and you are taking employee name and I am going to store it under VEName. Now, so no need to initialize. Why? Because you are passing values to the procedure while executing it. See here, select the employee name so and so, so and so, and remaining is same. At last change the procedure name where given ID. Finish. Now execute it. Procedure created with compilation errors. What is this? Here the problem is you have used VENO, but here you are specifying VEID. That is wrong. EID is the invalid identifier. If you execute this command, it will display the error information. VEID is invalid identifier. Before executing or before compiling the procedure, you need to change VEID with VENO. Let me change it. ENO. And the name of VENO is Okay, let me execute it. Procedure created. Now execute the procedure. The difference is like this: procedure ename given id. You are not passing any values, but the procedure is having one argument variable. Okay, then it raises error message. See here, wrong number of types of arguments whenever you are making a call to the procedure. So how can I send the arguments? Execute procedure ename given id 7654. I want to display the employee name of 7654. See, name of 7654 is Martin. If you are executing like this, execute procedure ename and given id and submit one employee id 7902. Name of 7902 is Ford. Again I am going to execute something like procedure ename something given id. Here it is taking like 7788. So it is displaying the name of 7788 is Scott. At different executions I have submitted different employee IDs. Based on given employee ID, it is displaying different employee names, the respective employee names. For 7654 it is saying Martin, for 7902 it is saying Ford, and for 7788 it is displaying Scott. This is called as a dynamic procedure. Okay, so this is direct execution of the procedure. Can I make a call to the program or not? Can I call the procedure or not? I want to call the procedure. Whenever you are making a call to the procedure, automatically it has to be executed. Okay, from a program I am going to call it. How it is? Let me write a program to call this procedure. See, what is the name of the procedure? Procedure ename given id. Okay, declare. So here I am declaring a variable, or I am not declaring any variable, just I am going to write a begin statement. How do I write begin statement? Begin, I am making a call to the program. What is the procedure name here? Procedure ename something like given id. Okay, so whenever you are making a call to the procedure, you have to pass a value 7654. Okay, and end of the program. This is the program. Just it is maintaining a procedure calling statement. See here. Okay, suppose if you want to make a call to the procedure from the program again, just specify different input value. Here argument value 7654 is already submitted, 7788 just now I am submitting. Name of so and so. Whenever the program is running, inside the program you have a procedure calling statement. The procedure calling statement contains the syntax like this: procedure name and the argument value list. That procedure is having single argument, that's why I am submitting single value. This value is going to be stored under VENO into the procedure. And the above you have the procedure, right? See, into VENO it is going to be stored, and after that it is selecting the employee name of this VENO. Suppose if you have submitted 7654, 7654 employee name has to be selected from the table in AMP, and that should be saved into VE name. And now you have a value in VENO and you have a value in VE name. Now name of VENO 7654 is Martin. Right? This is the way of execution of the procedure. You are directly executing the procedure by using execute command, or you can also make a call to the procedure. That's all about dynamic procedures and static procedures.